Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Azar, you've been caricatured by some as a predatory, avaricious, big pharma executive. And in response to that, I'd like to give you an opportunity to actually say a few words here as opposed to my giving an extended speech. So can you talk about what you did in your previous tenure at the agency around the drug pricing issues?
Well, Senator, thank you for asking about that. You know, back in the Bush administration, when I was general counsel, there was a very clear abuse that was occurring where pharmaceutical companies were taking advantage of a loophole in the drug laws to allow them to have longer patent periods. What they would do is they would get to the end, they would file a new patent, and then get another extension. And what I said to our legal team was, this is unacceptable. Nobody has ever thought of a way to deal with this without legislation. Let us see, can we interpret the statute in a way that prevents that? And drove that. And we actually got to the point where we put out a rule that allowed only a single, what's called a 30-month stay in litigation. So you basically got one shot at the apple instead of these multiple 4 or 5 things that could cause a drug to last for years and years longer. When we put that rulemaking out, the economic impact of that rule was estimated to save consumers $34 billion over 10 years. And that rule was later enshrined through the leadership of Senator McCain into statute in the Medicare Modernization Act.
So I'd just like you to repeat that for a second for those who may not be paying attention and who may want to fuel a false narrative of that you're not sensitive to drug pricing. You catalyzed a process by recognizing an anomaly in the law that led to a regulatory change that saved how many billions for consumers in prescription drug prices?
$34 billion over 10 years.
Okay. My constituents will be happy to